So, welcome to Grumpy Vegan Grandad. Dan here. Tales from the Lorry Cab. I haven't done one of these for ages. It's a cold Thursday morning. It's -2 degrees outside. I'm just being unloaded now. If you're wondering what the noises are, the trailer behind's getting unloaded. So we're a week into January, and it's Veganuary, and some of you might have friends or family checking out the vegan food situation, attempting to go vegan for the month of January. But are you all emphasizing what vegan is? Are you emphasizing what vegan is? It's nice that people will try Veganuary. It's nice that people will try Veganuary, but the trouble is Veganuary seems to get pitched as a diet. Try this diet. Try the vegan diet for the month of January. So if you have got friends or family or know people or friends on social media who are saying, right, I'm going to do Veganuary this year, I'm doing it now, please point them in the direction of some ethical films, and even the non-ethical films like Game Changers and Forks Over Knives. But try to get them to see Dominion. Try to get them to watch Earthlings, Cowspiracy, Land of Hope and Glory, which is the UK version of Dominion, all filmed in UK farms. And try and emphasise it. We're doing this for the animals. Try and emphasise that. Because Veganuary is pushed as a month of a way of eating rather than a month of not buying products tested on animals, not buying anything from animal skin, leather, suede. So yeah, Veganuary is good because it highlights veganism, the diet side of it, but it doesn't emphasize everything. So that is where we come in. That is where we come in. But also try and push Veganuary to people if they haven't heard of it. Maybe they haven't heard of it. Not, there's got to be people out there who maybe haven't heard of Veganuary. If they have and they're not trying it, try and get them to do it. But try and post it on social media. Push out Challenge 22, the vegan switch. Try and get those out on your posts on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. And let's try and get people into it. But if any of you out there who are watching this now, who are doing Veganuary, I'll say go back to what I've just said, is try and look at some of those films. Try and watch them. They're very graphic, but you will then have your eyes open to what is actually happening out there. If you think gas chambers ended with the Nazi Holocaust, you're wrong. It's where 80 to 90% of all pigs go, to a gas chamber. Unfortunately, all dairy cows that have been used and abused over over 6, 7, 8 years of their life go and get stabbed in the throat. The same with chickens and lambs and sheep. So go and see it and watch as much as you can and try and get on board with the ethics. Veganism is not a diet. However, food is a big, big part of it. It's probably 95% of what you'll actively be looking at. That's pretty much all of what veganism about is the food industry. Once you've cut out and boycotted all the animal products, then you will help boycott all the skin. And see, a lot of the wool and the leather and the suede comes from, as byproducts from the food industry. I mean, there is dedicated leather and suede and wool farms out there, but the majority of material does come from slaughtered food animals. So take that into consideration. But once you've done, or while you're doing veganuary, just have a think about what you're going to do after. Are you just going to stop? Are you just going to stop? Are you just going to stop and go back to funding murder and abuse, animal abuse? If you're against cruelty to animals, you've got to be vegan. You've got to be. Because it's cruelty personified. It should be the definition of cruelty. It should be the definition of animal agriculture, should be the definition of cruelty. So please, if you're trying veganuary for the month of January, please consider it to be a lifetime choice. Please consider it. I mean, there's going to be hiccups along the way. A lot of the non-animal product food that you will eat, whether it be mock meats and vegetables and fruits and beans and nuts and seeds, it's not as calorie dense as a piece of meat by a long shot. So you may think, fucking hell, I feel hungry. Fucking hell, I feel a bit. I've just had a massive plate of food and I'm still hungry. But you've probably not had as many calories as half that plate would give you if it was a piece of meat, a piece of animal flesh. So consider that while you're doing it. But if you do make it to January, at the end of January, and you decide to carry on, here's a few tips for you to carry on. Okay, so the diet side of it, the plant-based diet side of it, that's what you've been participating in January, is the plant-based living side of it. It's got to be well planned. It's got to be well planned. And you've probably never looked at vitamins and minerals or anything like that. And I'm not saying that the vegan plant-based diet is lacking in any vitamins and minerals. It's not. If you eat a varied diet, you can't just eat chips, which are vegan. You can't just eat chips for the rest of your life because you'll be ill, obviously. Just like you can't just eat chicken or beef or pork or lamb. You can't just eat those because you will be ill. So you've got to eat a varied diet. But what I'm saying is, have a look at supplementing certain things. Not because you can't get it in a plant-based diet, because the first one, B12. B12 is fortified in most cereals, vegan and non-vegan. B12 is given to farm animals through the food and injected into farm animals. Because B12 is a microbe that produces B12. And because of pesticides and because of water chlorination, we do not get B12 naturally, because that is where we naturally got B12, from the soil and from untreated drinking water. So yeah, so a lot of foods, including bread, a lot of foods that are fortified with B12. But even as a meat eater, there's millions of meat eaters that are B12 deficient. There's millions of vegans that are B12 deficient. Well, not millions, because there's not many of us. But you've got to supplement B12. That's the general consensus from the medical professions, is you should supplement it, because we don't always absorb the B12 in our food, and that goes for non-vegans and vegans. So I would personally get a spray. I'm going to put it up here. I'll put it there. That's the one I get, and it's just a spray that you put in your mouth and spray your cheek. You can do that 3 times a week, or you can do it every day if you want. That's me unloaded. So yeah, you can do it. You can do that as much as you want, the B12. Another one is vitamin D, which we get from the sunshine. But if you're living in the northern hemisphere, like we are in the UK, especially in winter, even though it's sun shining on the side of my face now in winter, we don't get enough vitamin D. And again, it is fortified in food. It is fortified in food. But I would get a supplement. I would get some vitamin D tablets. And finally, get some seaweed tablets from Holland and Barrett, which is your iodine. I mean, you can get iodine in certain things, in nori sheets. You can get iodine in table salt, but it's not ideal to eat a lot of table salt. So I would get some of them. And you've got those 3 things, you're pretty much covered for everything if you eat a varied diet. So yes, vegans out there, promote veganism, promote veganuary. Get it out there, get some posts going on social media, get people to try it. If you're non-vegan and you're trying it, well done, well done. It's a big step, it's a hard step, I understand, totally, but it does have its rewards. If you do it right, if you do this right, your plant-based diet right, and you stick with it, amazing transformations will happen to your body, believe me. So if you're non-vegan and you're trying veganuary, well done, thank you so much. You're saving a shitload of animal lives, you're saving a shitload of water and resources by doing this just for the 4 weeks. But please, please consider doing it for the rest of your life. Please. It's not sustainable. The meat agriculture industry is not sustainable. It's destroying, decimating our planet. Please, just stop, think, and do it for life. Save the animals, save the planet, save yourself. Do veganuary. Yeah.